Greetings and welcome. This is an Ask Savannah video, and today I am bouncing off the walls. I'm bouncing off the walls, so I just want to start with a Hail Lucifer. I want to just start this video by letting out a big Hail Lucifer because I just feel so blessed. And I was going on my power walk today and just appreciating everything in the world and appreciating my place in the world. I'm appreciating that through my continued working with the demons or the dark ancient spirits, the wisdom that they have shared to help calm my crazy ass down and help align my thoughts, my feelings, and of course my free will aligns my actions so I can have the best possible existence for what I'm asking to do in this lifetime. So I am so grateful. I'm so blessed. I feel so blessed to be on this path. And that may sound surprising if you're new to the channel, or I don't know why you wouldn't know that I'm into the left-hand path, but hey, I am. But it's not freaky. I feel like I'm going to start this video off with a little Savannah rant. Not a Savannah bitch, a Savannah rant. Sharing a little bit of my feelings towards the left-hand path and this spiritual journey, I should say. Because I probably don't share with you how blessed I truly feel. And I don't say that just to sound cute or it's a cliche. I wear many different hats in life, but it's the pattern of thinking that goes on inside my head. And I don't always think it's dark because I think it's right. So that is the first probably misconception people have, just thinking we always think the devil has horns and we're running around just fucking things up. No, that's on certain days, probably Tuesday and Saturday, but that's only for a short period of time. The rest of the time I'm living in really a state of gratefulness. I like you guys know, who's been following me for a while, New Year's Eve, I reset and I set a whole new path for the coming year. I work my spiritual journey strategically, and I always share thanks. Praise and gratitude is such a huge part of my journey. And so I was talking to another young client in a consultation this week, and she shared, when I first spoke with her, don't worry, I'm not going to say your name because I know she watches. She was sharing with me when we first spoke that she was really nervous about the left-hand path and specifically working with the demons. And she acknowledges she's coming in from a place where she has fear due to, of course, her other religious upbringings. Her family of origin, her parents are quite religious. And so it makes sense to have this fear. And even when consciously you might begin to understand that those religions really don't have any basis for their existence. Well, yeah, I truly 100%, hand on my heart, shoot me in the head right now, I believe that. And when you realize that, there's still a little fear that happens in the back of your head, the subconscious. And what the subconscious does is say, well, what if this is wrong? We should just keep Jesus or Muhammad or whoever as a plan B. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that if you want to follow another religion. I'm not some martyr trying to convert people like a Pied Piper. I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is that when you come into a logical conclusion that all of that is right up there with Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, once you realize that, it still takes a little bit of time and working the path yourself before you realize this is actually a path that is working daily with me. slowly, step by step, helping me challenge my past, what we're programmed with. It doesn't matter which culture or background you come from, we're all a little bit programmed. And what the left-hand path does is helps challenge those thoughts. And in a way, this could sound negative. In a way, you start moving away from people and activities which do not serve your highest purpose. The easiest ones are those which I call vibrating on a really low level. They have what I call stinking thinking. So they're really not thinking, they're thinking about in a panic mode, a state of desperation. And I get it. Sometimes you are in a state of desperation. But if you're always living with and then you have jealousy and anger towards others because they have and you don't, that it really hijacks your ability to have any level of success in life, because you're always in starvation mode. You're always wanting something for nothing because others have it. You have to stay away. If this is you, and I understand a lot of people are like this because maybe you haven't had a chance to evolve as yet, but you've really got to catch yourself and realize, and this is what the left-hand path philosophy alludes to, is that you have to take ownership of where you are right now, and you have to make a plan for getting out of your situation. You have to make that plan, and you have to do those actions. Now, that's a little bit different from mainstream religion. Christianity says that you've got to give it over to Jesus. You give your problems to Jesus. Jesus or any other spirit isn't going to come down and solve your problem. Spirit provides wisdom. The dark arts, the demons specifically, will provide if you open a door, now let's take a step back. You have to want to open the door to access the knowledge. And sometimes that can be traumatic. Maybe you don't want to look at what is behind that door because you have to face your own personal demons. You might not like the man in the mirror. So that's when you'll probably numb, take a lot of drugs that aren't good for you, such as meth or that level of stuff, or injectables and things like that, which it's going to just kill your brain and not put you on any type of spiritual path. A demon is going to plant seeds. So the seeds, it's up to you to water. So some people don't want to put in the effort. They don't want to get the watering can. They want someone else to come in and do the hard work for them. And that's just not going to happen. Now, if I was a demon, I could only wish, I would come back and haunt people's asses too. I would be the kind of demon that taught people lessons. I'm not a kind entity such as I believe Lucifer is, such as I believe Astaroth is, or some of the other higher level spirits. I think they're so patient and tolerant and kind, because when they share messages, people just go, well, you didn't do it for me, and therefore the left-hand path sucks and I'm going back to my old practices. Sometimes that's when you get your dumb ass haunted. But my point is, going back to my client, she said, because when I said to her, I'm not going to spoon feed you what you need to do. Here are some things you need to do for her personally to begin the journey. Now, we've had a follow-up call this week, and she said, I'm so appreciative of you not spoon feeding me, because by her going through and softly entering into the journey without the ego, without the attitude, with a lot of respect, she has been able to feel comfortable and start receiving messages already. So we can't all receive instant messages. That just depends on what some of your natural skills and gifts are. And most of these skills can be learned over time. Over time is the key word there. But she said, I feel so comfortable. I'm not completely there. I'm not ready to do demonic rituals or go really hard just now. But like what I like to say to people is that you have to form a relationship. And then once you form the relationship, it's much easier for you to work respectfully in the dark arts. And the relationship will help guide you. And I just think it's so wonderful. What a blessing to find this path. Now, look at me rabbiting on and on, but there's something I'm really passionate about, Now, what's a baby negative of the left-hand path? Well, in the same conversation, I did warn her. I said, one of the challenges, especially when you're younger, she's, I think, 24, 25. I said, this can be such an indulgence. It's like, for me, sitting in a bath full of chocolate, drinking wine. That's how fabulous and indulgent this path feels for me. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I have every gift I possibly want right at my fingertips. And spiritual connection, what more could I want in life? I'm just tingling with delight sharing this with you. And I'm surprised I haven't shared more of this before. So I said to her, when you start to feel this ancient knowledge, this almost deep tribal pulsing energy that runs through your veins, oh, I can feel it now. It's so invigorating that it can start to become difficult hanging out with other people, especially people who are vibrating at a lower level or who are not pursuing personal enlightenment. I'll put it like that. And I got to catch myself sometimes as well and make sure I do have a great balance, because there's key people I love hanging out with all the time. I can be myself. I can relax because I'm not always what you're seeing. I'm not always the big hard ass. I'm a mother. I'm a lover. I'm passionate about lots of different areas in life. And so I've got to try and keep that balance, and a social life. And so sometimes, I might not be available a lot for a social life because I think go hang out with these people and hear all of this crap, or be at home in a ritual where I'm vibrating from head to foot in connection with dark ancient entities who are helping me be in alignment with my highest purpose. Hail Lucifer! But at 25, I feel like you have to have those crazy experiences and go out and make your mistakes and enjoy life and experience different cultures, different food, different everything, because then by the time you get in your 40s and 50s, you can feel like you have enough knowledge, and you're not going to be all of these isms because you've had a more diverse experience in your younger years. Anyways, I hope some of you out there can relate to that, because I just feel like it's not that I hate other religions. Now I'm catching myself, because I'm like, yeah, organized religions haven't done a lot of good to mankind, but I'd hate to think of the majority of the human race without some level of control, because people tend to go batshit crazy without controls. And this is another wonderful part of the left-hand path, is because you are totally in control and responsible for your own actions. You are responsible. You haven't given away that control. maybe that little story will help some of you out there, especially if you're young on the path. Hi, my name is Isabel. I have been scared of demons all my life, and I don't know why. Lately, I've seen a lot of people working with them. Also, I think I've seen demons in my dreams, and they are never dangerous to me. But the question is it safe to work with them? Thank you so much. Now, I suppose my blanket response would have to be maybe. It depends on a lot of factors, but I think the way I shared with you that introductory story of the 25-year-old client, and my advice wasn't to give her the roadmap to come straight to, someone that's been working in this for decades. The way I work with the demons is very different now from the way I work with them 10, 20, 30 years ago. Very, very different. And it's not someone who's 30 years younger than me can have a worse experience or a better experience. It's just you've got to take your time. And it also depends how you're coming into the left-hand path. If you've had lots of experiences with energy work and you're strong with some of your other senses, then yeah, perhaps it's going to be a better experience for you. But if you just go in there and summon Satan and basically put yourself out there like bait, yes, it can be dangerous. And we do a lot of possession cases, a lot of spiritual attack, a lot of negative entities. You've just got to make sure that spiritually you've set up some really good barriers for yourself. Because really it's not just the demons. When you're stepping into the spiritual world, you become open season for a lot of things. And so you have to really understand the bigger picture if you want to safely work with demons. It's very hard to give these type of questions a great response in a short amount of time, but hopefully I said enough for you to research and find out a bit more for yourself. My grandsons are incarcerated for a crime they didn't do. 2 older men actually did. My grandsons were blamed, scared of telling events. They are in jail. Grown men trying to get a plea deal. So this type of thing really needs a consultation. There's not enough information. So I appreciate when you guys write in with situations, but there's too many things. When it comes to legal spells, even if we're working with a demon such as Iglos or Senamawate or any of the other, like Belial, any of those type of demons can be great, but I'm not going to get those demons to work with you if you're, also working with Jesus. And also, I would tailor my response and my spiritual plan based on you, the situation, lots of different things. But honestly, the first thing you need to do is a good reading. You need divination first anyways. So either a psychic reading, check out the website, there's psychic readings there, or there's tarot readings. Blonde Gypsy offers live tarot, face-to-face tarot readings to help you with the situation. And she knows everything that I do and everything about us, so that's really what you need to do. M says, good day. I have had a long problem with demons, Incubus still coming back, and I don't want him in my life. Please, you know the way to get rid of it or protect yourself from it. I sincerely appreciate your advice. I really don't know what to do next. The same with your situation. You need a consultation first, because I'm going to ask you what your history with this spirit is. How did you get this demon into your bed? Did you summon it yourself? Now, you probably did. That's what happens a lot of times. For example, when you're working with the demon Zeppa, and you'll do a ritual because you want to spice up your sex life or to be more attractive to other people, and you'll do this spirit ritual with this demon, and before you know it, you've got another type of entity now interacting with you and they're having a great old time with you. And yeah, it can be very difficult to get rid of. However, we can get rid of it, but will it stay away? What most people do when they're having this level of sexual fun with a demon is subconsciously call it back. And so during a consultation, I'll really ascertain if you're wanting this around. So how did it get there? Why is it staying around? And if we remove it, what type of things are you going to do to make sure it doesn't come back? So it is a little bit strategic the way you can get rid of it. But if you don't have the money for all of that, the best thing you have to do is just really take ownership and control of your own body, of your own vessel. Everybody has a strong free will. Your free will, when you're allowing a succubus or an incubus into your life, is that you're giving away your free will. So you have to mean it. And when it sort of tries to come back and attack you, you have to take command. Now, that's easier said than done because you could be in fear, because they will try and scare you, especially if they've already had a portal to you already. So that's what I was saying. Really, you probably need, at minimum, you need a good cleanse. So a cleanse to us means you come in, you could do an aura or a chakra cleanse, or and ask us to assess you for spiritual attachment. And that's when we'll check out what's going on. But if you go back and dabble after it's removed, yes, you'll probably attract another type of spirit. And then we'll just say to you, that's fine, but you're always going to keep this open door with the spirit. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, this is from a gentleman in Canada. He says, okay, so basically he's saying that, do I agree with COVID-19 injections? He feels like his liberties are being taken away because he has to have an injection in order to keep his job. Is there anything I could do to stop that? I know where he's going with this. All right, let's talk about COVID. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Have I had my injections? Yes, I'm vaccinated. Not for any other reason other than I just don't want to deal with, like when I travel, I don't want any issues. I'll show this, yes, I'm vaccinated card. I'll be in and out. But I'm otherwise, knock on wood, a very healthy person. I don't have any pre-existing medical issues. I have had my kids, so I'm not worried about, future pregnancies or anything like that. So I can understand why some people might be fearful. In fact, our clients out there use people that are doctors and nurses. I would say 80% of our clients who are from the medical profession have not had it. So I'm just saying, it's really up to you. Now, the way I look at it is that I don't think the government is trying to, because this is one of the conspiracy theories, the government is trying to get rid of me or get rid of levels of the population. And I don't agree with that either. I think if that was the strategy of the government, they would be giving it to people, say the homeless people or people of low socioeconomic backgrounds. They're not going to be giving it to people that pay their taxes and work. You know what I mean? Not that I even think that is a thing. So yes, I think it's a taking away of your liberties. I think it takes away from your personal freedom and choice. You should be able to have a choice. But this is the world that we're living in right now. Personally, I've shoved enough chemicals in my body over the years. I feel like it's amazing that I'm alive anyways. So what's another little injection? Now, would I give this to my children? Well, my children are adults now, so that is their choice as to what they will do. But would I as a mother now to young children, give my young children the injection? Well, I would say no. Not my kids, because I really do feel like there hasn't been enough scientific research on this to determine if it is really safe. Now, the next question is from Karen. Karen says, hello, I have not seen this addressed before, but respect your decision either way whether or not to answer. When working with crystals, is the strength of the energy correlated to the size of the crystal? For instance, if I am working with a black gemstone to repel negativity, is more better? Well, this is something that I did ask around the Coven, because a couple of our Coven members are into crystals. I'm into crystals too, but crystals isn't my main gig, you know. It's when I'm in a girly mode, I love my crystals a little bit more, if you know what I mean. But my answer to you, before I read Blonde Gypsy's answer that she wrote for you, is, well, to me, bigger is always better. But I really believe that. Bigger the better. I mean, if you can afford a large chunk of crystal, I believe size matters. You know, to feel, especially some of you who actually can feel the energy of the pulse of the crystal. Yeah. I mean, could you imagine walking into a crystal cave? Even those crystal shops. I remember I was on Kauai, and this crystal store there, I don't know the name of it, but it had so many large crystals. I mean, you just want to go and sit next to it all day and hug it. They're all so huge. There were so many of them. I mean, just the energy walking into that place, it was like being instantly high. It was awesome. Actually, not that I'm wearing it now, but I have that blue ring, the blue lapis ring that I will often wear over the years. I bought that from Kauai at that special store. So it's an important jewelry piece that I'll keep forever. But yes, I think bigger is definitely better. And another example of that, you know, the lapis small ring that I wear, sure, it is charged, but I feel like because I've worn it for so many years as well, of course, I'm adding to that, the energy of that crystal as we sync with each other. But I have another very large piece of lapis, and I don't, you know, you feel that energy just a little bit stronger. I don't need to wear it. If it's near me, I'm feeling some of the energy from that crystal. So I do think bigger is better. However, I did throw that across to Blonde Gypsy. Her answer was a yes and a no. She said, for example, 1 black tourmaline by your bed is fine. 4 buried in the corners of your property is better. 1 piece worn on your body is best. She said they all need attuning to the person using it. And then there's the proximity issue. Most have about a 10 to 12 inch energy field, so there's that too. But they don't need to be big pieces, just well placed. So that's a different way of looking at how to use probably smaller pieces of crystal. So I hope that helps. Last one. This is a little bit longer, and I think normally if I see, which I'll skim read this, but I think a lot of questions, if you have a lot of details, you have to basically book in for, if a consultation costs too much, and I know my diary is quite full anyways, have a reading first. Divination is always the first line of attack because it's going to give that spiritual response, and based on the spiritual response we can decide what is best before you spend your money on spells and etc. It's always best to have a reading. And like I said, Blonde Gypsy does one-on-one readings, or some of the other girls and guys, they do the psychic reading. So take a choice. Now John asks, hello, I was told you might be of genuine help to me and truly hope you can. My name is John, I'm 46. I fear someone may have placed a hex on me, but I truly do not know how to go about finding out what has been done. Things started to fall apart a few years ago with a woman I knew, and I was deeply in love with her, but her son from a previous relationship was someone somewhat jealous of attention that I was getting from the mother. She has a few psychological issues, and her son would play upon this and would tell her nasty things that were just not true. I'm spiritual in some ways, but not sure about magic or the occult. I heard from someone who did know Jen, she was a user of chaos magic, mirror magic, and other forms. So in hope you can help, since a few years have passed. I have lost my job under mysterious circumstances, health has become bad, and other strange things have happened. So if anything you can suggest, it would be truly thankful. Okay, so I'm reading this for you because a lot of people are having similar situations. Magic's becoming more popular in America now. So what can you do about it? Well, the first thing, especially if you don't have a budget for it, why waste your time and money trying to find out who did it? I know that can be fascinating, but it's not the best way to spend your spiritual dollar. The best thing you can do, the way Black Witch Coven does it, is that we do a spiritual assessment, and that can be done if you order that aura cleanse or chakra cleanse, because that's sort of the title we use for it, and we do those services. But if you're under spiritual attack, let's find out, because if it's just a basic evil eye type of curse that's being removed, that's one thing. Or are you under full-on demonic siege? Now, if you're under demonic siege, you'd be having a different experience. So you're definitely not experiencing that. So, so the first thing is, don't waste your time chasing who is responsible. Also, when you get into that mindset and you're already under attack, you're just worrying about or wanting to do vengeance magic. And a lot of time, if you're doing vengeance magic, cursing, hexing, all of that type of work, when you're under attack, it's going to pull you down further, because you're already not, I like, this is Savannah language, so I like to say you're already not vibrating at a really high level. You're not clean spiritually. And so what happens then when you go to curse, if you don't know what to do after a curse to clean yourself, then that's going to pull you down a little bit further. And so before you know it, you're going back to really just stinking thinking, and you can't pull yourself out of the hole. You need to spiritually cleanse yourself. Make sure that there's nothing on you that can be keeping you at that lower level, and then start doing abundance style magic spells and rituals, so you can start attracting abundance. Then when your life shifts, when you start to feel the benefits of the more positive style of magic, then if you want to go and get your revenge. So many people are surprised to hear me say that, like they just think I should always just like double down and just get crazy on someone. But it's not, it should be the last line of attack. But in cases like that, where you're already suffering in life, where you've already maybe lost your job, you lost your family, you don't have friends anymore, you're not manifesting anything, why waste your time in trying to get vengeance? It's still not going to get you out of the situation you're currently in. So John, I hope that very simple solution will benefit you. You haven't said whether you're with her or not, or maybe I've misunderstood, but if you're not with her anymore, draw a line in the sand. I would just step forward into something new, something different. It doesn't sound like this situation is something that's going to resolve itself. The mother has an allegiance with her son. The son has a loyalty to the mother, and you're an outsider. They don't value what you brought to the table. So sometimes we have to set a personal boundary. It can hurt if this is a case at all. And you need to sometimes step away from things in order to have a fresh start, because it definitely sounds like you need a fresh start here. Okay, well, that's it for another month wow, it's just gone so fast. But other than that, I feel happy and I feel healthy. And yeah, thanks for listening. I really appreciate your time. All right. Hail Lucifer, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.